morning, everyone. Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, classmates. Good morning to my fellow students. I am Irene A. Bautista from AB Posay to Block B. Today, we will tackle about the point of view of Aristotle about telos, the different regime from the different philosophers, and lastly, the different theories from classical period to contemporary era.
Aristotle's concept of telos essentially means that everything has a built-in purpose or goal. He believed that everything in nature has a natural inclination to reach a specific end state, like a seed growing into a plant. As a political science student, I find the concept of telos incredibly relevant. It helps me understand how political systems work and how they influence the societies and the world we live in. My telos as a political science student is to gain knowledge that goes beyond just learning. It's about using that knowledge to drive positive change. Politics is not only theoretical, it's about understanding how systems affect people's lives, fostering justice and ensuring fairness. My goal in studying political science is to understand how power works, ensure government are responsible, and contribute to a system that benefits everyone, and to help build a more equitable society. This means taking action and making a tangible impact. I believe that by working towards a more just world, I can also grow as a person. What is the best type of government? This timeless question has interviewed some of history's greatest thinkers, Aristotle, Socrates, and Plato. Let's dive into their ideas and see what lessons they hold for us today. For Aristotle, he believed that the best form of government was a polity, which is a combination of democracy and oligarchy. He considered it the most stable form of government because it involved more people in public affairs. Here are some of Aristotle's other views on the best form of government: monarchy and aristocracy. In theory, Aristotle preferred this form of government because he believed that the best people should have ruling power. Second, constitutional democracy. In practice, Aristotle recommended a constitutional democracy or polity where the rich and poor people respect each other's rights. Third, absolute kingship. Aristotle believed that absolute kingship was the best constitution if there was one person which such superior virtue that no one else could compare. Aristotle believed that building a city on law and justice could lead to a better life and quality of life. He also believed that friendship was an important principle that regulated the people of the polity. In Plato's Republic, Socrates' ideal political state is hierarchical system of three classes, which is philosopher kings or guardians, soldier or auxiliaries, and producers. Socrates also discusses other regime including democracy, aristocracy, oligarchy, democracy, and tyranny. Socrates, as portrayed by Plato, often challenged convictional ideas and emphasized the importance of virtue and wisdom in governance. He believed leaders should possess moral and intellectual excellence, ensuring justice for the citizens. In Plato's Republic, Plato suggests that an aristocracy is the preferred form of government. Aristocracy is the form of government advocated in Plato's Republic. This regime is ruled by a philosopher king, and thus is grounded on wisdom and reason. Plato's five regimes: aristocracy, democracy, oligarchy, democracy, and tyranny. Considering these perspectives, I believe Aristotle's concept of polity is the most promising form of government. By combining elements of democracy and aristocracy, it achieved a balance that upholds fairness and respect the rule of law. A polity empowers a well-informed middle class, ensuring that the people's voices are represented while avoiding the chaos of mob rule. In this presentation, we will explore the ideas of political theories from the classical to contemporary period, analyze their ideology, and relate it to the current Philippine politic landscape.
Political theories from classical period. We have Plato.
Plato's ideology was idealistic and utopian, and including the following beliefs. Forms. Plato believed that reality is divided into two parts: the ideal forms, which are eternal and perfect, and the physical world, which is a reflection of the ideal. Duality. Plato believed that two worlds, the ideal and the physical, and in dualism of body and mind, soul. Plato believed that the soul is trapped in the body and is trying to escape to the ideal form. He also believed that the soul has three parts: reason, spirit, and appetite. Virtue. Plato believed that virtue is a special kind of knowledge, not just a matter of outward behavior. Happiness. Plato believed that the political order should make the entire city happy, not just a particular group. Education. Plato believed that education should combine the right kind of music, poetry, and other fine arts with physical training. Government. Plato believed that the ideal form of government was an aristocracy, and that democracy was unjust and corrupt. Plato's philosophy also used dialectic, a method of discussion that leads to deeper insight into reality, and cognitive optimism, the belief that the human mind can attain truth and use it to order human affairs.
Because political philosophy is based on the idea that the purpose of government is to help citizens live a good life, or eudaimonia, by cultivating virtue. They also believe that politics is for the community, humans are political animals, the state is the highest community, ethics and politics are linked, some rules are invariable. The political philosophy is sometimes classified as communitarian. They also believe that the purpose of politics is to make citizens good and disposed to perform noble action. The city-states comes into being for the sake of life, but exists for the sake of the daily life. Confucianism is a political and ethical philosophy that emphasizes the importance of virtue and social relationships. Some key aspects of Confucian political ideology include conflict resolution, the rule of the state, the meritocracy, the importance of virtue, the family as a model, and delegation. Cicero believed in a mixed government that balanced monarchy, democracy, and aristocracy. Ideal government, state and law, scepticism, duties to the community. Cicero argues that the best political system is not rule of one individual or a few or many, but a mixture of all three: kingship, aristocracy, and democracy. The collective body of all citizens should have some input into political decision making. State of Heaven. Political theories include justice, church and state, just war, the rule of the state, the city of God and the earthly city, the rule of government, the rule of loves, the impossibility of political perfection, the spirit of capitalism, and Bourdieu's individualism. Thomas Aquina's ideology believes that natural reason can demonstratively prove God's existence. The first step is to show that for everything in the challengeable world around us, there is a first cause or prime mover in virtue of which all other things have this existence, their motion, their qualities, and direction. Again, Caldur. For him, the state was a necessity of human society to restrain injustice within the society. But the state means its force plus itself an injustice. All societies must have a state governing them in order to establish a society.
In modern period, we have Niccolò Machiavelli, Thomas Hobbes, John Locke, Jean-Jacques Rousseau, Baron de Mostic, Karl Marx, and John Stuart Mill. In contemporary era, we have John Rawls, Robert Nozick, Hannah Arendt, Michael Foucault, and Georgine Habermas.
Jean-Jacques Rousseau's political ideology was centered on the idea that a legitimate state is guided by the general will of its people, including the general will, the social contract, citizenship, and democracy. Rousseau believes in a social contract between the government and its people. He asserts that the government should express the will of its people and allow for the people to possess individual freedoms. The laws made are by the citizens' will, so people follow their own will and in doing so are abiding the law. Jean-Jacques Rousseau is no choice because his political philosophy aligns with the current state of governance. The Philippine Constitution incorporates the idea of popular sovereignty. For instance, when citizens use their authority to select leaders, the democratic election process reflects Rousseau's concept of the general will. The need to realign governance with the people's true interest is highlighted by the difficulties that arise when political dynasties and corruption overshadow the common good. The Philippines faces systematic issues such as income disparities, equal access to justice. Addressing this gap requires reforms that truly represent the general will.